Today we're going to discuss about a keyword called final. So basically, we can finalize or we can use the keywords for a variable, method, and a class. So as the name itself suggests that it's going to make the stuff final. So that means you cannot change it later on. So let's see what happens if I want to change. Let's take this as an example. Let's take int num1. So num1 is equal to 65 and I changed it later on to 54. So if I run it, see, there is no error. But if I don't want anyone to change it, if I want to keep it constant, let's take an example that you're writing code regarding some indoor GPS for your room. So in that, you have few locations like where are the plug points. So for the fan, they have a ceiling, right? In the ceiling, you keep the fan and you have plug point for the current. And that coordinates doesn't change. So you can make it final by just adding final keyword. So if I keep it final, then you'll get an error that I cannot change it. So if I run it, I'll get obviously an error. As you can see, you'll get a compile time error. So with this, you can say that a final keyword can make a variable fine, like it is not changeable. If you want, you can use it in other cases. Let's say int num2 is equal to num1 star 3. It works. I won't get any error. As you can see, no error with exit code of 0. So in this case, you can say that there is no error. But if you make it final, then you cannot change it. That means it makes it immutable. You can basically use it for coordinates or some ID numbers and all the stuff. And next thing is methods. So as I mentioned, you can make even method final. So as you can see here, let's say a class A is there. So what makes a method final is it doesn't let any other method override. As you can see, there are two classes, class A and class B. Class B extends A. So obviously it can override this method, right? So I can say, hello guys. It works. I'll get no error. But if I make this one final, let's say final, I'll get an error. So as you can see, it cannot override a method from A. If you want, I can just run this method from B. So the final keyword is still there. So let me create an object of B, object of A with the reference of B. B A1 is equal to new B. Now as you can see, A1 dot say hi. It works. I won't get any kind of error. So that means if a method is overridden, like you could say a final method is overridden, then you're going to get an error. But if some other class extends it, then that means it works fine. Next thing is, let's say a class is final. So what makes a class final? What's the use of it is? So if I make this class A final, what happens is, as you can see, it doesn't let any other class extend it. So as you can see here, I'll get an error. So B cannot be a subclass of finally because since I'm using the final keyword here, it doesn't let any other class extend it. And the second important thing which I want to mention is you cannot make an abstract method. In an abstract class, you can make an instance method final, but you cannot make an abstract method in an abstract class or an interface final because the some other class needs to extend it and give it body, right? So if you make it final, it doesn't work. So that's the thing which I would to mention. And next thing is, let's say this class A have some constructors. And one more thing is, in an interface, every variable, I repeat, every variable is final, static, and the variable type or the data type. So every variable is public, final, and static. So that thing which I would like you guys to remember. So if you see, if I don't initialize them, so previously I gave it as 65. So let's say final int, let's give no one. So what happens here is I can only initialize it with a constructor. So I can just write a in this case what happens is I can only initialize this with the constructor. So when I create an object of a, as you can see, a1 is equal to new a. So I should give a number, right? So let's give 32. Now I can get a1 dot no one. So I can only initialize it with the constructor if I make something like this. That means I did not give the initialization, or you could say the value. So these kind of situations, the constructor comes in handy, and the constructor can never be final. That's the key thing which you need to remember. That's it. Hope you guys understood.